Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies. Welcome to yet another episode of the X Factor Youth podcast or the X Factor Youth show, where we speak about all things excellence, exceptionality, extraordinary. Let me start that again.
A few moments later.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies. Welcome to another exciting podcast. This is the X Factor Youth show, where we speak about all things excellence, exceptionality, extraordinariness. Oh, why am I struggling with that word?
I don't know.
I think it's because I'm excited. Oh, okay.
More moments later.
This is a special moment for me, bro. Yeah. Hey, dog.
Hey, why you saying?
Because it's a big one, guys.
X Factor Youth. I'm part of the X Factor Youth. Put me on stage, you can find me in the book. Put me on a track like I'm stuck inside a booth. I'm that nigga, young nigga with the truth. Black body with a Jewish mindset flow. Black man with a lot of grind, I know. Inside I go, my mind's on though. I hide my mode, need fly my bro. Never ever did they realize my bro. Grown man making niggas cry, my bro.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, your excellencies. This is Bliss Sibia, and welcome to another exciting episode of the X Factor Youth show, where we speak about all things excellent, exceptionality, extraordinariness, and exceeding expectations. Now, as you can see, I'm very excited. It's an exciting episode because I'm with my brother. I really cannot contain myself. Like, if you have an idea what we have done, where we have been, it's been an amazing journey, and this is one of those moments where I'm like, we are here now, dog. We are here. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to the great homie, Sizwe Mlambo. My brother.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, dog?
I'm fine yourself, brother. Finally, it's happening, yeah?
It's finally happening,
yes,
bro.
Sir.
And for me, like you can see, I can't even get my words together because it's like, bro, the experiences that we've had, we've known each other for a bit now, and since I came back from Germany, the boy went to Germany, so it's easy to relate with certain things because it's like the boy has lived the experience.
True.
But also, I understand that you've also been to America.
Yes, definitely, yeah. Sure.
But before we even have that conversation, who is Sizwe Mlambo from his perspective?
Sizwe Mlambo, ne? Sizwe Mlambo is just a guy from Kempton Park, East Rand. Went to a multi-medium school, a guy who loved sports, who loved being a leader in most things, who loved team building at the background, without knowing it, who loved the concept of team building, the concept of being active, Sizwe Mlambo is a guy who likes giving back, who likes volunteering, who understands the true nature of volunteering and why volunteering is important. Sizwe Mlambo is a guy who likes music, who's very creative, who creates his own beats, who creates his own music as just a hobby, as something I like doing when I'm bored instead of just sitting around. But yeah, Sizwe Mlambo is a very open guy. I like moving around. Sizwe Mlambo is a guy who has ADHD, who has a lisp, and is very proud of it. Even in public speaking, I really like, I'm not afraid of it. And yeah, he's a very outgoing, I would like to say handsome guy too. But yeah,
that's cool.
That's Sizwe Mlambo.
That's beautiful. Like, I like the fact that you mentioned the fact that you have ADHD and that you have a lisp. And the reason why, one of many reasons why I wanted to have a conversation with you is because we've been in different spaces. We've facilitated at camps, at schools, and we've worked with people or individuals with special needs. And I don't really like saying special needs. I just like calling them gifted or superhuman because of the stigma around, in high school, the perspective of the stigma around young people who have certain disabilities, or in this case, superpowers, and what you have overcome with your ADHD, with your lisp. I mean, you've done amazing work, dog. Yeah. And if people are not going to tell you, I'm going to tell you that, my nigga, you've done so many things. But I just want to hear from you, like, growing up with all of that, how was it for you, my dog?
Growing up, at the beginning, it's more of an information thing. Yes, in our community as black people, as our parents who are new in this suburban community after apartheid, information about neurodiversity was very scarce. But luckily, I had a mom who was very go-getting, who wanted information. So once first grade of high school, once my teacher told my mom that, no, man, your child needs to go on Ritalin because he must have ADHD and is very hyperactive. I cannot sit him down for more than 5 minutes. Back then, this is what I hear from my mom. I wouldn't know, but she never let me go on Ritalin or anything. She just let me be a child, you know, burn the energy or whatever. But as growing up and not understanding what is this, why am I treated differently, or why am I not allowed to have sweets during the week, or not allowed to have cold drink, or I always have to sleep at 8 o'clock. I can't have, my diet is very specific. I had to wonder and go through it and had to figure out later in my life that no, actually, instead of taking Ritalin, my mom tried to control my dietary, control this ADHD into a positive way, where I started playing rugby from the first grade, playing cricket, playing all sports available at my school from first grade to 12th grade. So growing up with it, not understanding why I can't focus in class, that's where it really affected me a lot, where I'm like, bruh, I'm really trying to focus. I really try my best, but I just see myself talking to, looking at a mosquito flying past and chasing after the mosquito, thinking, no, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe some schools are missing, because why are these kids understanding what this teacher is saying the whole time? The whole 30 minutes you can sit down and focus on this teacher the whole time, and I can't. And you know, you get your bullies. Like, hey man, you can't even pass your class or whatever. But once you start understanding, once you have, again, I say I'm really grateful and lucky for having the parents that I did, who understood my superpower. Let's say, I won't say condition, it's a superpower, who understood it and who knew how to control it to a certain aspect. Like, no, yes, Sizwe has ADHD, but we can control it. We can steer it into a way, instead of it being a suppressant, it can be a superpower for him. So growing up, I'm just gonna say I was lucky having the parents who informed about it, who looked for information about neurodiversity and how to work with it. So.
And I'm very happy you mentioned that, because in the households, you know, when you have these superpowers, in African households, because they do not understand, you know, what is this ADD, ADHD? You know, we never had this back in the day. And for them, I mean, these days, you know, I sit with older people and I just watch how they move, because I'm not gonna lie, it's thanks to you that I actually paid attention to this overall, you know, ADD, ADHD, you know, these superpowers. And I get to pay attention and I look, and 40-year-olds, 50-year-olds, they sitting there not knowing that they have the condition. But you see the small behaviors, you know, the doing this, moving the hands, you know, the interrupting, and you're like, no, this one has it, but because they weren't informed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, it made things difficult for them.
True.
Do you not think there should be, and there probably is, but we should bring more awareness, have more conversations with how certain people learn? Because as you said, in schools, there's a traditional schooling system for neurotypical.
Yes.
And very few schools really cater. I mean, you have to go to a separate school on its own just because you have these superpowers. What is your overall take on how society views people that are neurodiverse or neurodivergent?
Again, perspective. Because I'm glad you mentioned, you know, our African household. Yes, we are African people. We are from a black community. This is very new, and it's very not immediate need to our fellow black people, fellow African households, because of certain things like poverty. They rather feed their kids than take their kids to hospital about their neurodiversity, you know, finding a consultant is probably twice as much as buying a poo of like a sack of pap or something, you understand? So first, the perspective of neurodiversity has to change within our African households. But that's where information has to come in, where we spread more information, where there's more workshops, where we invite parents of kids we would think who are identified as neurodivergent in schools. We invite them for free information sessions that, hey, autism, ADHD, ADD, or AU ADHD, all of these, how this comes about, what systems or what symptoms you can find within your child, whatever, and how you work with it from there. Like again, I say you don't need your consultants or your private doctors. You just need information. If you can understand what this superpower is and what it does and how it triggers certain behavioral aspects, you will know how to control it. Not necessarily control it, but limit its limitations, if you understand. You know, because we believe that these superpowers are limitations. They limit us from being like normal people, being in business meetings, being a prefect, being whatever. We believe that it limits us. But no, I always say this is a superpower. So once we can change our perspective of seeing it as a limitation but into a superpower, that's when the information to our fellow African households, our fellow Black people, our fellow, not even just that, just people in general, once we can change the perspective, the information received by these people can be different. And then that's how we can help our fellow beneficiaries, our fellow children. How you receive the information of neurodiversity, once you can change that perspective, yes, that's when I believe these information sessions can have a real impact. Because we can have information sessions, there's a lot of them, but how they receive the information is very important. Because like again I said, different situations affect how you receive the information. I can be very successful and wealthy. Of course, I will receive this information about neurodiversity or neurodivergent of my child. I'll receive it in a different way from someone who is stressed about food, who's stressed about other things than the actual condition of their child. So how you change the perspective of the recipient of the information, that's when I think the impact of these workshops or giving information out will really happen. Yeah.
Can you talk to us about how substance abuse can be linked? Because, I mean, research shows often that people that are neurodivergent have a higher affinity to getting into substance abuse, trying to, suppress this energy or whatever they're going through in their mind. I just want to hear from your perspective and your experience. Is that true?
Again, in my perspective, in my experience, I believe that's very true. I won't say it's true to a point where we try to surpass it, but I guess it's more of a social thing where neurodivergent people fall into substance abuse to fit in more than to calm down whatever divergent they have. It's more of a thing to fit in. Where I know if I am ADHD, I know the only way I can really try fit in a group of people is if we're all on the same high. You understand? That's the only time I can really probably fit in, because once we're in a normal setting, I stand out a lot because I'm literally standing out. I'm standing up, I'm walking up and down and what, and people are sitting down concentrating on whatever topic there is, and I can't do that. So I believe it's more of a social thing where we try to fit in, where we try to find family, if you can say so, where you're not alone. So if all of us are on the same high, or on the same drunk or whatever, I will understand that I'm not alone. But also, yes, it does also come to a point where you want to calm down or you want to neutralize whatever divergent you have through substance abuse. But it depends also, because there's some substances that do not neutralize your neurodivergent trigger, but also it amplifies. For example, you can have ADHD or ADD, your attention disorder, and you say you're gonna take what? Maybe an upper, I don't know, cocaine or anything. If you take those, do you really think it will neutralize your attention disorder? It won't. It will just amplify it, where you're now a little bit more unattentive, you see. So I guess people take substance abuse and it always falls into that because they try to look for a way out or a way into a family, into not being alone. Not because of neutralizing it, but to more of being part of something. Yeah.
What have you accomplished with your superpowers? Now this is your time to flex,
my superpowers. So I guess I just have to from a very young age, like I said, I was into sports a lot. And with yes, I have ADHD, so which means my attention span wasn't really long, but my energy span was longer than most. So in terms of sports, I could focus my energy into one thing. So I played rugby and cricket for 14 years of my life. That's like from grade R, preschool, to finishing in high school. And like that, for number one, that's a flex because I was probably captain of most of my teams. I made it to Proteas Junior eventually when I was playing cricket because of my attention, of my energy. But in certain cases, school-wise, wasn't so great. I won't say I failed school, but I didn't pass the way I believe I could or I should if I had the mentality I had now. But yes, sport-wise, it took me to many places because of the superpower. But once you're done with high school and you can't reach this level of sport that you can, there's a point where, like our previous topic about substance abuse, where it did attack me, where I was looking for a place to fit in. And then I saw, consciously, I saw that, no, this is not where it's at. But with my experience of teamwork and leadership, I fell into volunteering as a facilitator at an organization called Lungale Youth Development, where I'm at right now. Yes, sir. So when I started volunteering there, I was a facilitator for, young people, younger than me, where we had to play games, team building. And that's when I saw that, hey, this superpower of mine really fits in here, where I have to facilitate certain groups, certain camps. Then my eyes open. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this is where I should really focus my superpower. And that was the greatest move I ever did, because since then I applied to go to Camp America. For those who know it, comment in the comments. But Camp America, I applied for Camp America and I got accepted, where I went to go facilitate in the US for YMCA, for Camp Wildwoods, at the summer camps. And that's when it really sparked my interest. My skill level went higher and my experience in facilitation went higher, because that's when I also met other neurodivergent camps. So this is the problem I believe in our country, not so focused into neurodiversity. But once I went to overseas, to America, there was camps that were specifically for neurodivergent kids. And I was home. I felt at home. I felt at a place. So as I came back, I was still volunteering in facilitation for young people at camps, either at camps, teamwork, workshops, whatever. And that's where my energy went. And then as I was facilitating, I met a great man by the name of Bliss Spear, and he put me on a volunteering program, a international exchange. Let me say that. Yeah. You put me on this international German exchange, right? For volunteering in Germany. I applied and I got accepted by God's grace. And I was in a sports facility called Sportgarten, yeah? As a sports facilitator, where people would come and I would just literally play sports with them, play football, play skating, whatever. So this is where my past accomplishments came in clutch. And because I have ADHD, I had energy for so much, where I even learned the language, where we learned German, where we learned the culture, we learned everything. And I came back and I implemented what I learned in my facilitation that I do right now. So there's way more. So since then, I've been applying to, or I applied in school to do community recreation, and I'm graduating in August. So community recreation is basically facilitation in book, in content, written down, in theory. So I would never think I would have a degree because of my ADHD. Like, I wouldn't have time to sit down and read. But luckily, I found my niche, if you could say that, because of my past experiences with my neurodiversity. So I use that, and now I can say I'm a professional facilitator because of my superpower. If it wasn't for me finding out what I can do with my superpower, which is ADHD, I wouldn't trust me. I wouldn't even be seated here with you, my brother. Yeah.
No, definitely. Like what I like about you, bro, is you've understood that, okay, I'm this type of person.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, when it comes to like admin work, I know it's okay. No, I will take over, and we feed off each other.
Yeah,
like I know that, okay, when I'm tired, my boy's gonna give me a boost.
Yeah.
But then also we are able to support each other in those spaces where we're like, okay, no, I will take over here, and then you will take over there. And overall, like your progress, dog. Like I feel like for me, seeing where you were when I met you in Richards Bay at Lungelo Youth Development, and then seeing you now, bro, like the growth is there. You know, you've leveraged off of the superpower and you executed quite well, bro. Like you kill it, dog. And it's for me, it's an opportunity to give you your flowers, because in this space, you know, that we always speak about it these days, like it's a topic, it's a trend, our neurodiversity, you know, we start to pick up the vocabulary as African people and as society at large. But there's always that, okay, what can you do now? Okay, we know you have autism, we know you have ADHD, then the assumption is that it's a dead end. But what you've been able to do is you're an international facilitator, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and even the way that you deliver the facilitations, it is so unique. And not only do the neurotypical people benefit, but even the neurodiverse, you know, you see the way that they're engaged. And I've learned from that, you know. I love seeing you facilitate, and also how you've been able to be in touch with your creative side and how you bring it in. For example, you make music.
Yes.
You know, your stage name is C9.
Yes, sir.
Don't forget the dash.
Don't forget the dash, yeah.
How did that come about? Like, how has ADHD contributed to your creative musical space?
Like, again, we call it a superpower. Bro, it's so crazy why it's a superpower. You won't believe that I learned how production and music and everything. I learned it in a matter of 3 months on YouTube. Because, like I say, it's a superpower. I have so much energy. And if you can channel this energy into something you really like, and something you're really interested in, trust me, you will learn it. You can learn it in 24 hours. So I just sat down and I literally just locked in onto YouTube. It was even during COVID times where I was locked in and we didn't have nothing else to do. So imagine someone with ADHD who's locked in because of COVID. I can't go outside, can't go play football, I can't go meet people. I am locked in, literally locked in my room. I definitely had to learn something. And I'm like, what's the easiest thing to learn? Oh, let me go on YouTube. I saw some, I love music a lot. I'm like, let me check how production is made. It just expanded. And again, I say it's a hobby because the world, honestly, us superheroes, us with these superpowers, we can't do one thing the whole time. I can't be just reliant on facilitation. If at night when I'm sitting and I'm not facilitating or I'm not creating content for the facilitation or whatever, what am I doing? I'm creating music, I'm creating cover arts, I'm creating pictures, I'm editing pictures, editing videos, you know. So yeah, ADHD really helped me get this hobby and almost not really perfect it, but you really fall into this hobby and stretch my arms out in this hobby. So yeah.
I wonder if you know this and if the audience knows this. So if you know this, please comment down below. But we've seen many entrepreneurs to this day. They are entrepreneurs because of the fact that they are neurodivergent or they're neurodiverse. You know, if you look at Richard Branson, he's dyslexic.
Yeah.
He's been able to create many businesses. Like you said, like it's not one specific thing, it's thousands of things. If you look at Elon Musk, he's also on the spectrum. And what is he doing? He has SpaceX, he has the Boring Company, he's even into politics, and he's trying to send people to the moon.
Yeah.
Then you also have other individuals where it's like, okay, so it's clearly a superpower.
Yeah.
It really, really is a superpower. And it is proven that if you have ADD, ADHD, or any type of these neurodiverse, you know, traits, you have a higher chance. In fact, you should be an entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Because you are in a box if you're trying to get into employment. I mean, a 9 to 5, I do not see you in that. you know? And the fact that you are able to look at things differently, which is a superpower that people with neurodiversity have. You are able to look at things differently and then find that opportunity. So it's basically to say that, again, it's not debilitating. It shouldn't be a challenge, because there are blueprints, there are role models that have shown us that these people are truly, truly superhuman, because it shows us as neurotypical people that we shouldn't keep being in the box. You know, we should be like someone who is neurodiverse, because they look at things completely differently. And you might find that there's a lot of creative and innovative solutions because of you being naturally innovative, naturally creative, naturally just not trying to be neurotypical, you know, because being neurotypical sometimes is boring.
I was about to say that. It's a little bit boring. Yeah, it's a little bit. Imagine your brain cannot imagine. Okay, a ball of energy stuck in a box, and the ball of energy needs to be released. Imagine stuck in a box 9 to 5. By 5 o'clock, you think that thing will still have energy? No, it'll be completely kaput. I don't know what's the other word, but in Germany, we would say it's completely kaput. And it's kind of boring being neurotypical, because if I think about it, I feel sorry for people who sit down, who know what they're going to do today, who know okay, at 8 till 12, I'm having my first shift. At 12, I'm having lunch. After 12 till 5, I'm finishing my work. At 5, I go home, I sleep. Next day, it's like that until Friday. Weekend, maybe. I find it a little bit boring, because for me, I don't know what's going to happen after this. Honestly, my mind, I could be driving home, but my mind, like, you know what? Let's go see the world. Let me drive to the Caribbean or something right now, right there. And it's something I at first I thought was a distraction in my life. Was a limitation for people I was working with. I first thought that I'm distracting people who are around me. Yeah. Because I'm a natural leader, I believe, and people will follow you. But now I'm like, guys, these people are following me, but now I'm not going straight. Before we get there, I'd like to go there. I'd like to go there before we meet that specific goal. Yeah. And it's something I don't have control over. And then sometimes it's depressing, where you believe that you're holding yourself back. You see people your age already getting what they want. They have their careers. They have their, people get married, people... and sometimes it gets really depressing, where you don't know what you want, bro. Sometimes I really feel like I don't know what I want, but at the end of the day, I'm like, it is what it is, I do know what I want. It's just me getting there won't be the same as you getting there, because I'll still want to try how to build that, how to do that, how to do this, how to do that before I do the actual thing I wanted to do. So it does get depressing here and there, but eventually you realize, hey, this is crazy, because now since I derived myself, I literally turned angle, and I'm here, I am getting more opportunities because I decided to change my mind in the middle of something. I find more information, I get more opportunities, I get more skills before my actual goal. For example, I wanted to be something, like I wanted to be a great entrepreneur. I didn't know in what at a certain point. But because my ADHD allowed me to try all these things, I already know that in facilitation, I know I'm great. In team building, I know what I'm going to do to get my entrepreneurship job, to get my goal, my specific business. I already know what's going to be, because I decided to derive into something else before actually going there. Yeah. So it's definitely a superpower.
No, definitely. And again, man, like this conversation, it opened a lot for me the more I spend time with you, because I keep looking back into my own childhood. I was told that, Bliss, you always start something, but you don't finish it. Why don't you finish it? And I never had an explanation. And looking back, I mean, it's even like me sitting down. I was in a train station in Germany, and my girlfriend had said to me, you can't sit still. Like, when you're waiting for the train, I do not sit. I rather stand up and walk up and down. That's just how I do things, and I can't sit down. So I went down a rabbit hole. Like I tried to check, okay, what's going on exactly? And I found that I don't have ADHD, but I'm on the spectrum somewhere. Had I not observed you and observed other people in my life, and also really going back, because it was just things that I couldn't explain, and I understand why, because another thing that I realize as a trait is if you tell me I can't do something or I shouldn't do it, I want to do that.
Do it.
I want to do that exact thing, So even in the entrepreneurship space, I see if people tell me that, no, go get a job, what are you doing is not the best option. I'm going to do the exact opposite. Like I'm going to be rebellious. And that's what ADHD and people who are neurodiverse are viewed as. They're just rebellious people. Like, they don't listen. They just want to have their own way. And it's like, I'm more at peace now, bro, because I know why I'm like this. And it, in fact, has been my superpower for years. It's only, unfortunately, just last year, as I spend more time with it, I'm like, yo, bro,
tap into it. Once you know, just tap into that superpower.
So fortunately, I have the right people around me. But to those that are out there, like, what message do you have for them, especially those that have parents that do not want to hear about neurodiversity, them thinking that it's for rich people, for white people? What do you have to say? Because there are people that are crying out there. They just don't understand why they are the way that they are. Like you said, when they look at people, they're like, I wish I could sit for 6 hours. I wish I could answer questions like Usman Bani, but I can't do that. But give me something that I enjoy. Give me the resources that will assist me. I can flourish in that thing. What message do you have, my brother?
Brother, again, I say it's about information. Find information. If you're young, if you're still a child who's in the care of your parents, very young person, you have no control because your parents are the ones who are supposed to find information. But if you're old enough, go out there, find information about neurodiversity. If you suspect that you might have ADHD, ADD, autism, whatever, go do your research. There's free research where you just find symptoms on whatever. And if you're certain, let's say you have ADHD, work towards that, work around that, because I do not encourage Ritalin or any sort of medication, because it's our superpower, and these are these things I believe are our kryptonites. So find information, find your niche, because again, you need to know yourself before neurodiversity actually controls your life. If you know yourself, if you know what you're interested in, you can use this to enhance your niche, to enhance what you really like. And my message to those people out there who are really struggling with neurodiversity: find information. Once you have found the information, work towards a specific goal with the information you know about your neurodiversity.
Right, yeah.
Work towards a specific goal. Information is very important, from your diets, from what triggers what, you should know when you are in your ADHD moment. You should know, okay, right now, it's triggered. You should know, okay, once it has triggered, you should know what should happen, where your strengths lie once it has triggered. Like you've said, you see me facilitate with this superpower and how I've designed it, because I know when to come in for a specific time, because it accommodates that. And you should know yourself, know your strengths, your weaknesses, and your niche. I believe it's very important to know yourselves. So information, know your strengths, know your weaknesses, and know your niche. And yeah, you'll be good. Trust me, it's not even that deep. Trust me, it's not even that deep.
Yeah. So where can people find you, though? Like music-wise, Instagram-wise, social media, where can they find the boy?
You can find me on Spotify, on all DSPs as C9, C-N-I-N-E. You can find me on Instagram at TheRealC9. You can find me on Facebook as Sizwe Mlambo. That's where I am. You can find me on TikTok as C9. And yeah, C-N-I-N-E. Don't forget the dash. That's very important. And yeah, that's me.
You heard it yourself. C9, don't forget the dash. This conversation is really relieving, you know, for those of you who really assume that it's the end of the world because you are neurodivergent, or you just don't know how to navigate the same way a neurotypical person would navigate. It's not the end of the world. Things can be done. You can achieve, just like C9, aka Sizwe Mlambo, has achieved in life. And if you really trying to identify or find ways, come to the X Factor Youth. We accept you as you are because we believe that you're great in who you are. So come through, man. X Factor Youth all day, every day. And I'd like to thank you guys once again for watching, for viewing, for staying tuned up to this part, because we all know ADHD, ADD, you know, it's a thing. So shout out to you guys for really sticking through it, and just know that it's not the end of the world. We are here to accommodate, we're here to assist, we are here to leverage your excellence in the way that you are. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Bliss Sibia from the X Factor Youth, where we speak about all things excellence, exceptionality, extraordinariness, and the urge to exceed expectations. Signing out.
X Factor Youth. I'm part of the X Factor Youth. Put me on stage, you can find me in the book. Put me on a track like I'm stuck inside a booth. I'm that nigga, young nigga with the truth. Black body with a Jewish mindset flow. Black man with a lot of grind, I know. Inside I go, my mind's on though. I hide my mode, me blind my bro. Never ever did they realize my bro. Grown man making niggas cry, my bro.